I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes, so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler Sports and this is the Sport Report.
And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. Welcome to a special edition of this all crazy sports newscast.
Broadcasting from somewhere in the United States.
Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Friday, June 21st, 2019.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. It's time to get you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports. This is Top of the Order.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
This is Top of the Order.
Our top story comes from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, where the NBA draft took place. The first three picks were essentially decided before the draft had even started. Zion Williamson went number 1 to the New Orleans Pelicans. Jay Morant from Murray State went number 2 to the Memphis Grizzlies, and RJ Barrett from Duke went number 3 to the New York Knicks. RJ Barrett was not booed by the Knicks. First time in recent memory that a Knicks draft pick has not been booed at the draft. From picks 4 to 60, well, the chaos ensues. There were trades after trades after trades, and then trades after trades after trades after that. The Boston Celtics had 3 picks in the first round, and in the end, they only used 2 of them. They traded away 2 of the 3 picks. It was chaos. They sent away Aaron Baines, their center who they just re-signed to the Phoenix Suns, and the 24th pick to Phoenix. They got the 33 pick. I mean, there were a lot of things that happened on draft night. Bol, who was a top 5 preseason player from Oregon, went to the 44 pick to the Miami Heat, but he was traded to the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets have another rehab project on their hands in a sense. Michael Porter Jr. was selected last year, and this year they get Bol. Michael Porter Jr. was a top 5 draft pick, but he slid to the mid-first round. He sat out all of last season due to an injury, and this season he's supposed to come back better than ever. Bol, on the other hand, he is rehabbing from his own injury, and he may return this season, if not the following season. Regardless, the Nuggets already have a young core. They're going to add Porter this season, maybe Bol too, and when that happens, expect the Nuggets to make a deep run into the playoffs for years to come. We could talk about Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter becoming the first 2 Virginia players to be selected in the first round in school history. We could talk about a lot of things, but those are your top stories, hence why it's top of the order. Now to the Women's World Cup. There were 4 games on the Women's World Cup schedule. We will start in Group E, where Cameroon needed a victory to advance, and they did just that, but they left it very, very, very late. Cameroon 2, New Zealand 1. Cameroon scored on the last kick of the game on a nice juke by one of their players. Nchut scores, and Cameroon advances in 3rd place in Group E. Who finished top 2, you ask? Well, the Netherlands, then Canada. Netherlands defeats Canada 2-1 in yesterday's match. Then you move to Group F, and it was the USA and Sweden. USA 2, Sweden 0. Chile needed a win to advance in 3rd, and they did just that as well. 2-0 over Thailand, who finished last in the group. So that sets up the knockout stage. 16 teams have advanced from the group stage to the knockout stage. It's single elimination. On the left side of the bracket, tomorrow, Norway versus Australia. Then on June 23rd, which is on Sunday, England versus Cameroon. The winner of those 2 matches will face off. Continuing down the left side of the bracket, also on June 23rd, France versus Brazil. Then on Monday, it'll be Spain versus the United States, who are defending their Women's World Cup title. They're looking for their 4th in team history, which would be the most of any country. Now to the right side of the bracket, on Tuesday, June 25th, it'll be Italy versus China, and the winner of that match will take on the winner of June 25th's match between the Netherlands and Japan. Continuing down the right side of the bracket, Germany and Nigeria on June 22nd, which is tomorrow, and on June 24th, Sweden and Canada. The winners of those matches will move on to the quarterfinals to be played on June 27th, 28th, and 29th. Now to our final sport of the night, Major League Baseball, and we'll cover a little bit of the College World Series as well.
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Someday, the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
Cubs win! Cubs win! Holy cow!
Now from Major League Baseball.
Before we begin our baseball segment, we'd like to correct an error that we made. This was caught by our number 1 listener of the podcast. We said the other night that the Pirates went up 7-3 against the Tigers, and that the Pirates then won the game. Well, it was the Tigers who went up 7-3 before the Pirates won the game. We apologize for that error. Now into the 12 games in Major League Baseball. We'll start in the Bryce Harper Bowl between the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Nationals 7, Philadelphia Phillies 4. Bryce Harper batted leadoff, but that has not helped his hitting woes. He's on pace to set a record number of strikeouts in a season by a Philadelphia Philly, and he currently leads the majors in strikeouts. He was 3 of 22 entering yesterday's game and continued that bad streak. He's now 4 of his last 27. He's got to figure it out at some point. He's there for another 12 years. Texas Rangers 4, Cleveland Indians 2. Mike Minor improves to 7-4 with a 2.52 ERA for the Rangers. And Shane, not related to Justin Bieber, is 6-3 with a 3.86 ERA for the Indians. New York Yankees 10, Houston Astros 6. Of the 16 runs that were scored, 8 of them came off home runs between these two teams. Aroldis Chapman gets his 20th save of the year for the Yankees. In 10 innings, Toronto Blue Jays 7, LA Angels 5. It was Billy McKinney who hit a walk-off 2-run home run to right center field to end the game for the Blue Jays. Miami Marlins 7, St. Louis Cardinals 6 in 11 innings. Miami scored 2 in the top half of the 11th. St. Louis scored 1 in the bottom half, and they were threatening with a second before closer for the Marlins, Sergio Romo, no relation to Tony Romo, threw over to second base, and he got the guy out on the pickoff. Marlins win by 1. Cincinnati Reds 7, Milwaukee Brewers 1. Former Detroit Tigers shortstop Jose Iglesias hit a 2-run home run for the Reds in the top half of the 5th inning to help the Reds grow their lead from 3-1 to 5-1. They would then tack on 2 more runs in the top half of the 7th. Kansas City Royals 4, Minnesota Twins 1. Jake Odorizzi loses a decision. First time in 11 he's done that. He's 10-3 with a 2.58 ERA for the Twins. Oakland Athletics 5, Tampa Bay Rays 4. Matt Chapman hit a walk-off 3-run home run in the bottom half of the 9th inning after the Rays had scored 3 in the top half of the 9th to give Oakland the victory over Tampa. This comes on the same day that Tampa announced that they are looking into the possibility of playing a few home games in Tampa and the rest of them in Montreal. The Montreal Expos used to be a team before they relocated to Washington in 2005. And it wouldn't be the first time that teams have split home games between different cities. It happened in the ABA in the 70s, and it also happened to the Montreal Expos themselves. They played 22 home games in Puerto Rico in 2003. Seattle Mariners 5, Baltimore Orioles 2. Wade LeBlanc is 4-2 on the season for the Mariners. Dylan Bundy falls to 3-9 for the Orioles. In 10 innings, Colorado Rockies 6, Arizona Diamondbacks 4. Scott Oberg improves to 5-0 with a 1.50 ERA for the Rockies. Chris Iannetta came off the bench and had a go-ahead hit in the 10th inning for the Rockies. The Rockies scored 1 in the top half of the 9th and 2 in the top half of the 10th. It's Colorado's 8th consecutive victory versus the Diamondbacks, their longest in team history, surpassing 7 in a row set in 2004. Chicago Cubs 7, New York Mets 4. Steve Cishek gets his 7th save of the year for the Cubbies. And in the final game of the night for Major League Baseball, LA Dodgers 9, San Francisco Giants 8. Madison Bumgarner is now 3-7 on the season for the Giants. Kenley Jansen gets his 22nd save of the year for the Dodgers. In college baseball, Louisville Cardinals defeated the Mississippi State Bulldogs 4-3. The Cardinals trailed 3-0 entering the 7th inning, and they scored 4 unanswered, including a walk-off hit in the bottom half of the 9th inning, giving Mississippi State their first loss in 48 attempts this season when they led after 8 innings. It's the 5th walk-off win for Louisville, who now faces a tough task against Vanderbilt, who they fell to 3-1 in their first game of this College World Series. Louisville has to play Vanderbilt today and tomorrow if they win today, just to have a chance to move on to the best of 3 College World Series final. That's the Sport Report for Friday, June 21st, 2019.
For now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. Do you want to contact Chandler Sports or members of the Sport Report team? Visit sportreportcws.com. This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler Sports is strictly prohibited.